Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is AMA number 3 for Nostra City. Are you ready for the big reveal today? I hope you are because I'm going to go right ahead and deliver it, even if you're not. So let's get to it. What is Nostra City? Nostra City is the first and only, as far as I know, competition amongst DeFi families to vote with their virtual wallets for the city's next investment. It's basically a way of getting the community of DeFi together in order to choose where to allocate our resources, i.e., the Treasury, and we do it in a way that's a competition, a gamified competition with lots of benefits to everybody involved. Remember, this is not financial advice. NostraCity is a game, and you should not expect to profit from the efforts of others. Don't share your seed phrases with anybody ever. Also, any item on a roadmap or that's announced here is all a proposal and nothing more, okay? Or a plan. Somebody has decided to join in with their very noisy motorbike. That's okay. We can fit them in. And so anything could change if there are any legal or technical constraints to that. It's just what I'm supposed to tell you because, we have proper lawyers and I think they'll be a little bit happy with us to give this disclaimer. Whoa, hold on. Let's see. I just made a boo boo here. There you go. That's better. Before we begin, please like and subscribe this on Twitter or YouTube because it tells the algorithm that you are into this kind of content. It will show you content like this. So if you're in DeFi and you're a degen like the rest of us, you will want to hear not just about what we're doing, but what other projects are doing. The best way to tell the algorithm that you like this kind of stuff is to like and follow us. And follow us on Twitter, Nostra_City, and make sure to turn on the bell notifications because this is the only way that you're going to make sure that you get notified about when we go live, when we launch, or any changes, any announcements, any extra bonus benefits, etc. Okay, make sure to join our community on Discord, and all the links will be in the description below here on YouTube. Send us your comments and questions wherever you are, whether that is on Twitter, maybe on Discord, if we can get our handy dandy community manager to make sure that we check Discord, but most importantly on YouTube so that we can see it and respond to your questions. So let's begin. Today, we will talk about the roadmap. We're also going to reveal the launch date for Nostra City. We're going to talk about the families and reveal the families, their names. They have a family crest to go with it, etc., and some of the characteristics of their families. We'll also reveal to you the investment projects that we have in mind. And I'm also going to tell you a little bit more about the boss role and why you should really, really, really look forward to being a boss because it's going to pay off for sure. We're going to answer some questions, and we're also going to talk about the opportunity to get a whitelist spot coming up next Monday. And I'm going to tease what you guys are going to get next week on the next AMA. So first of all is we've started to roll out a little bit of marketing about our project. Sonny Huynh, probably not his correct pronunciation of the name. He made a really cool review of our city, our Nostra City. You're going to be able to check out the link in the description. Go there, give him some love, show your support, because he was the first YouTuber to make some content about us. There will be others coming up either this week, next week, etc. Also, docs and Discord changes. So we've updated the roadmap and we have also added the FAQ. So go over to our docs. You'll be able to find it on our Discord. Also, linked up from our Twitter account. The Twitter account is really the center of everything, and then that's where we link everything. So make sure that you follow us on Twitter. Launch date. Are you ready for this? Got to tell you, when we decided on the launch date, my heart Started to raise it a little bit because now it's become real and we have a countdown. March 21st will be the launch date of NostraCity. So we have not that much time for the build up. And let me tell you, it's going to be super, super exciting. Launch on March 21st. We don't have a certain time yet, or a set time, but turn on notifications for us on Twitter and you will hear about it first. Okay, families reveal. Are you ready for this? So let me tell you about each of the families. You know that there will be three families. And those three families, they have different characteristics. They have different family crests, as you can see, and different names. And we're going to match them up with the different investments that we will have in our city. So first up is the Gambino family. I love this crest. Look at this. Look at these lines. Aren't they just awesome? I love it. Anyway, the Gambino family, what are some of their characteristics? They are builders. They're the builders of the city. They are creative, smart, and fun. However, they have a weakness in that they're very, very stubborn. So that's Gambino for you. I think we all have a little bit of Gambino inside of us. At least I certainly do. Who's up next? Genovese. Okay. It's really nice to say. This is such an Italian name that I feel like it should be accompanied by the hand gesture that Italians make all the time, like Genovese, right? You can't say it otherwise. So the Genovese family has a beautiful crest, as you see here. And what are some of the characteristics that they have? Well, they are the powerful one. If anybody is the OG in Nostra City, it's Genovese. They are strong, decisive, and super resilient. They get knocked down and they get up and again and again and again and again. But their weakness is that they have way too many enemies, so they have a target on their back. That's the Genovese family for you. Okay, you ready for the next one? Colombo. I gotta say, out of all the crests, that's probably my favorite. Colombo. Beautiful. So, what are they like? The Colombo family is the underdog. Interesting. Some of the characteristics, they are loyal, patient, and super persistent. What is their weakness? They have a lot to prove yet. They're a little bit young, and they got to show up and prove their worth. So, something to think about. Okay, what does this have to do with anything? Well, these three families are the only three families you'll be able to join during season 1 of Nostra City. And how are you going to be able to join? Basically, you're going to go over to, on the 21st of March, to the city, and then you're going to choose a business. That business is going to be owned by that family, and it's going to be sponsored by an investment project. Okay, we're calling them projects, but they're really investment thesis. Thesis is singular. I'm not sure what the plural of thesis is. Is it theses? It's probably just thesis, probably all the same. Who knows? So, what are the three investments that we will be making? Actually, we won't be making them. That will be competing. We're only going to make one of these three investments. Season 1, Nostra City. Are you ready for this? Okay. So, before I tell you what the projects actually are, let me tell you what the criteria behind choosing the projects was when I was speaking with the consigliere, which is our advisors. So two things spoke the loudest when we came to look at these projects. We looked at well over 100 projects when we decided to choose these top three. We decided to stay within something that we really knew, which was DeFi, and we want to make sure that we're taking a contrarian view. Projects that maybe you wouldn't bet on, but we're going to bet on them because we see such strength in their community and in the actual fundamental of the project, that this is not going to be one of those things that we buy and we have to get rid of within another 3 weeks. And you're going to see why as we go on here, because I'm going to tell you about the time frame that we're looking at for these investments. So it's got to be projects for this season that have suffered a lot and have survived. This, if I could call this season one, if I could pick a theme for season one, it would be like season one, the revenge of the projects that are still around, right? Because their communities are pretty frustrated at the price, because there's a disconnect between the price that they're being traded at and the value that they're creating, and sometimes even their treasury. So do pay attention to that. Okay. Strong community was one of them, and sustainability, because of the length of time that we want to hold these for. And the sustainability is really shown either from the treasury, the price, the usage, are users growing, growth in the fundamentals, meaning is the project moving forward? Are they coming out with news, etc., or any other upcoming catalysts that we see? Sometimes they are coming out with new parts of the project or new improvements that are going to be really, really, really bullish in the medium to long term. Gambino family. Remember the Gambino family? They will be sponsored by Houses of Rome. Houses of Rome, it has gained an enormous following due to its premise of building the first RPG game that pays out an APY. After they slid, just like the whole sector, Rome has continued to build with its 20 plus devs that are working to this day super, super hard on gameplay and also really, really, really cool graphics. I don't even know how they do it, but they do it and it looks amazing. So, Houses of Rome, do you like it? Do you love it? I'm biased. I own all of these projects that we're mentioning here. So I'm very biased. Disclaimer, disclaimer. Next up is the Genovese family. Genovese family. Remember them? They're like the powerful ones, right? Like the OGs. You can kind of guess who this is going to be, right? If I say they're the OGs. Olympus DAO is going to be sponsoring the Genovese business. They have a ridiculously big treasury, as you all know. Olympus DAO is the OG, it's the originator of the mechanism of staking and bonding in these rebased tokens. The goal is to become the reverse currency of DeFi. And let me tell you, they have been doing that really well. They have basically built an ecosystem of many, many projects that hold OHM or GOHM. And this is why you see Olympus DAO on Avalanche, is because this will be, if OHM does win the competition, then we will purchase it on the Avalanche network through GOHM. There's no point in bridging our resources into the Ethereum network because nobody likes to pay gas fees. So OHM was at one point at a 7-time premium to its treasury, and now it finds itself today, it reached below its current treasury of $500 million. Now, what you may not know about Olympus DAO is that it's currently generating over $200 million on an annual basis, and it's projected to actually make a lot more than $200 million in the next 12 months from the partnerships that span a super wide range of DeFi products. They have a massive following, massive amount of users, and I never thought I would see this project below Treasury. Never thought it could happen. If there was ever a buying opportunity for this, except for day zero, this is it. This is the best time. If you believe that this project is going to live on, for the next number of months, this is the right time. Okay, who's up next? The Colombo family. This is going to be on Phantom. Okay, so we've had Rome on Moon River, On Avalanche, we had Olympus DAO, and then on Phantom, who could it be on Phantom? The Phantom network, we picked an underdog, right? Remember, it's the underdog family, the Colombo family. Hector Finance is the chosen project. Now, Hector Finance is amazingly the world's first deflationary rebase token. With the launch of Hector Bank and now their new stable coin called Tor, which burns the Heck token, the team is super hardworking and they've been able to execute as promised. Its low price is backed by a much, much higher treasury and it offers a super great buffer. So they have a treasury of $111 million, but their market cap is only $51 million. That doesn't make any sense. And with their Tor stablecoin now, what is going to happen, what's already happening, is that mechanism is burning the Heck token. So there's going to be less and less and less of it. And by the way, it still rebases. Not nearly as much as it did in the past, but it still rebases. Last time I checked, it was around 200% per year. So let's do some quick math here. And this applies to the other projects as well. If the market cap is only 51, the treasury is 111. Worst case scenario, fingers crossed, is people get really, really upset. They liquidate it. You get twice the money that you've put in by buying at these low levels. 100% return in a couple of months' time. Not bad. Best case scenario is this thing starts taking up again, taking up steam and growing, and it reaches the treasury and gets to a premium again because the Tor token is not going to stop burning the Heck token, which is what we plan to buy if Hector Finance wins. So what if the premium starts trading on any of those three projects again? That would be super, super, super interesting to see. And remember that only 20% is going to any of these projects for season one because it's our liquidity bootstrap event. So we need to reserve quite a bit of that for the liquidity pool and for other things. And part of the cash that comes in is literally going to be put aside for some other investment, or it's going to be put aside in stable coins so that we can park it in a much, much safer place. The 20% is how much we're willing to risk. But then for next season, it's going to be different projects and completely different theses. And it's probably going to be different networks. I don't know. Okay, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Every season is going to be completely different. So we're not going to be stuck with any one project. But all of these are super, super interesting. I'm actually salivating to buy at these levels. Really, I really am, because I've never seen some of this stuff go for so cheap. Okay, let me tell you about the boss role. The boss role is going to be a role that you can only earn. It cannot be bought. People have asked us about the ranks. Basically, we will not play too much around the ranks for this first season. We want to make it as simple as possible. But we will nominate one boss for each family based on how we see the communities working on Discord. So basically, you can just buy your NFTs and then claim your tokens. After that, with the tokens, you can buy your nodes and you can set it and forget it. That's fine. However, some people will want to be bosses. They will want to get involved, and they will want to not just educate the community, but lead the community and I guess strategize for the community. So let me tell you how to become a boss. You can only become a boss of one family. You can't be a boss of two families, but you can be part of any family that you like. So the bosses will be given, the boss title will be given to the most, pay attention to this, useful participant of each family. Not the one who talks the most, not the one who's there on Discord every day saying good morning, good night, etc. It's the most useful participant, the most helpful participant. So the big benefit is that they will get either free nodes or free node when we do launch them. I'm saying free nodes or a free node because we haven't set in stone the price of our nodes, but I can just tell you that it's going to be super beneficial because you're going to have basically a node that pays you um, without you having to do anything, without you having to get the tokens or do anything to it. You just get the node and it spits out tokens. And that's it. It just keeps spitting out tokens every single day. It's wonderful. If you're not into nodes yet, I'm not going to give you financial advice, but let's just say that when it works, it's quite interesting. um, so how are we going to measure usefulness? Okay, so the way that we're going to do it is first we're going to look at the ideas and suggestions and strategies posted by you as a participant of your family inside of Discord, not on the general forum. You will have your own Discord channel for your own family. Okay. So once you're in there, if you bring good strategies, good ideas, and good suggestions, that's the most important thing. Okay. If you can get out there and evangelize for us and get partnerships, even better. Okay. Second point is, are you informative? Do you give out information? If you give out information to newcomers, people joining, awesome. That's the second layer of most important things to do. And then the third one is participation. Are you participating? Are you just going to go in there and give all your best ideas, all the information, help out on day one, and then you're going to disappear and never say anything again, ever? We don't need you to be around the clock in the group, but it's good to have some level of participation. And then last of all, friendliness. Friendliness is important, but just participating and being friendly means you're saying good morning all the time, and that's not useful for anybody. Although it's kind of cool to say good morning to all my pals. All right. So strategies, ideas, suggestions, partnerships, etc. That's the cream of the crop. That's what you should focus on. Then also giving good information, then participation, and then also friendliness. Can they be mods? Yes, it's very likely that bosses will be invited, or candidates for the boss position will be invited to become mods as well, if they so wish to be. Okay? Awesome. We're going to make it worth your time. Being a boss is going to pay off. Questions. Let's get to it. Will a boss also be able to be part of the other families, or if they're boss, they can't? So, like I've just explained, you can participate in the three families, but you can only be a boss in one of them. Okay. So make sure that you only really participate with all your strength and energy in one of them. Number two, will you be will you be a boss of only one season thereafter, a new one selected? So the way we're going to do it is we're going to watch your participation and strategies, etc., for one season, and then you're going to be nominated for the next season. But nothing says that for the following seasons it can't continue to be you. It depends. If you continue to be the top guy or girl for that family, then guess what? Then you can keep the boss, but you're always going to be up against competition. So you got to be the most helpful person in the Discord channel throughout all of the seasons in order to get it. Okay. Will NostraCity work similarly to the pizza game? I have no idea how the pizza game works. So this question tells me that you don't really know how NostraCity works. Let me tell you. We're basically building a city that uses everything and everything in DeFi that is interesting to build up a treasury so that we can then, as a community, go out and invest it. Period. End of story. So we always want to be growing, not just the number of our treasury, but also we want to get better and better at the investing side so that our token will be worth more. Having said that, the way that we're going to do it for season one is there's going to be three businesses owned by three families, supported or sponsored by three different investments. And basically, day 1 to day 21, because it's going to last 3 weeks. You go in there, you buy NFTs, and the business with the most NFTs sold wins. They win the investment of 20% to the investment thesis. And then the family or the NFTs that you purchase from that business will win 20% more than what you've put in boss tokens. Okay? That's pretty simple. The families will continue throughout all the seasons, but the businesses and the investments will change with every season. Is this project going to be like a node? And if yes, what is the percentage per day? Yes, we will have nodes. We're trying to push it for season 2, so that as soon as you get your tokens, you have something to do with the tokens. We're going to talk more about tokenomics, but it's not for today. And we don't have a set percentage per day yet. How many people is planned or are planned to get whitelisted? So we have a hard cap on 180. It's very likely that we're going to have a lot fewer than 180. For the whitelist, we have 2 types of whitelist, tier 1 and tier 2. So far, we have almost 100. So there are quite a few yet to be given out, but we're not gonna reach 180. What is the benefits of buying coffee NFTs when you have Diner NFTs? Well, there won't be Diner NFTs. The NFTs inside the Diner as a business in the city will be coffee NFTs. Okay? You go into the Diner, all you can buy, coffee NFTs. That's it. You go into the barbershop, all you can buy are scissor NFTs. You go into the grocery store, all you can buy are tomato NFTs. Scissors, tomatoes, coffees. That's all you can get for season 1. Then with those NFTs, you can combine them, burn them, and they're going to become a really, really cool PFP. That's going to be a season 1 PFP. That's going to be super awesome, and it's going to have some interesting value. More about that soon. How will you promote sustainability? Okay. So the sustainability comes from the fact that we are going to have the DAS nodes. Okay, they're not network nodes, but they are a way of exchanging a number of your tokens for a daily payout. That's all these nodes are. You're exchanging the amount that you have in tokens for a daily payout. And the reason why we believe that our model is going to be more sustainable than most of the ones that you see out there is very simple. It's because virtually all of them derive their value almost exclusively from a limited pool of tokens. The value of our token is not going to come from the pool of tokens. It's going to come from the fact that our tokens are backed by the Treasury. And we're filling up the Treasury constantly with stables and investments. So stables are spitting out, percentage per year, and investments are spitting out hopefully a lot more than the stables. Then there's more value backing that token. So it's like combining the best of the bonding mechanism that Olympus DAO has created and the predictability from the node protocols, and putting those 2 together, and the investment should play a really, really cool part in that. That's how we promote sustainability. Will our investments just be HODLs? Would much have rather it being swung trade for anticipated dips. Okay, so the horizon that we're looking at is approximately 6 months. Okay, every time that we come to you as the conciliary to say, hey, these are the 3 projects that we've picked, it's because we see them at a much higher valuation, hopefully, fingers crossed, 6 months from now. When we get close to 6 months from now, we're going to have to take a vote. This is a DAO. And we're going to have to decide, are we going to keep this or are we going to do something else with it? Obviously, we're going to buy those tokens and stake them so that we get the very best returns that we can. But it's up to the community what we do after 6 months. The idea of swing trading sounds really interesting if we were willing and able to hire people to do that for us, and that could be done because we have a very deep tie with the hedge fund industry within our board of consiglieri. However, the problem is it would become very difficult because we would have to trust them to do a good job with our money, and then their identities would have to be super public. And these are things that would require a different type of project than what we're trying to do here. Basically, the community wouldn't choose, right? You'd only choose the investment, but not being able to choose what is done to the investment. If you're trading in and out, it's super dangerous. And I didn't want to have that be the thesis. The thesis is what's going to look good in 6 months? Let's go buy it and let's try to get the best out of it. Okay. Did I? Yeah, there you go. How can you prevent being front run by the community on an investment? We have already thought about that, and the process is going to be manual. So whenever we have a winner, the 20% for season one is going to be manually bought by people on the multi-sig. So people on the multi-sig will be people within the team. If you guys feel like somebody from the community should join the multi-sig, I would love that. However, we would have to dox that person just to maintain the same stance. If the team is doxed, then that person's going to have to be doxed as well. There's no point in putting people that you trust and having some of them doxed and some of them not doxed, because you guys know what happened to Time Wonderland, and I don't want to go into it. So if we're going to dox, we're going to fully dox, and that's it. And we're going to try to not be front run by the community on an investment. Is as soon as the season is over, we're not going to all of a sudden buy that. We can purchase that investment throughout the next, I don't know, 5 to 7 days, and it's going to be on a multi-sig. And with the multi-sig, people aren't really going to get a heads up. So I'm basically going to call people like at 3 a.m. Hopefully not, but I'm going to call them randomly. And if they can run to their computers and do it within 5 minutes, then we're going to make those purchases, because that sends a signal to the community as well that, hey, we've decided to make that investment. But if somebody just decides to front run us, they're going to have to sit and wait and hope that, the price doesn't move enough that it goes against them. And who knows, we could be making the purchase 5 days after the end of the season. And I don't think you can call that front running if it's that long after the fact. So that should mitigate some of that risk. Also, we don't necessarily need to make the whole purchase if we get, a large enough investment. And if there's anything that's not very liquid, it doesn't mean that we have to purchase the whole 20% in one go. We can do that with different tranches. Any way to increase treasury growth aside from mafia wars? Yes, there's always ways. There's NFTs. There will be nodes. There's other NFTs that we can actually produce without being tokens, or without them having a right to free tokens. There's also liquidity pool fees that we're going to get. There are a few different things that we can grow our treasury with. What will the treasury be used for? To invest. That's it. That's what we're all about. Coming together as a community, and we choose where we put the money, and we're making tough bets on what we think is going to be good for our community. Will a family hierarchy tree be posted? Yes, but we're only going to use that for when we have nodes. But do remember that under me as the boss of all bosses, there's only bosses. And so you can only earn that, you can't buy it, like we've mentioned previously. Sorry, I'm here talking. I muted my phone to cough. We're back, I hope. Do the influencers that are being added held to a KPI of sorts, i.e., they need to bring in X amount of new family members over a certain period of each week or over 2 weeks in order to maintain their tier one status? The short answer is no. Long answer is the only thing they have to do is publish decent enough content uh, that tells people about who we are. That's it. 14. Will there be enough liquidity to allow whales to come in and swim freely without affecting the price too much? Hopefully, because season one will be a liquidity bootstrap event. So a lot of it is going to go to our liquidity pool. Long term, the way that I see it, I see a lot of projects with lower than 10% liquidity. I don't think that's a good thing. Those are usually ones that don't end up well because there's too much volatility in the price. We're going to aim for 15% liquidity. Okay. And that is going to affect how we divide up the treasury for season one, because that's a LBE essentially. But we're going to aim for 15% so that whales can come in and swim freely. We don't really have anything against whales. We just don't like disorderly whales. So if you're a very elegant, sexy whale, we like you. We will welcome you. If you're going to be sloppy, then you know what? It's our fault for not preparing for it. So don't blame the whales. Blame the people making the protocols. If something happens, it's a whale's fault. Guess what? It's my fault. That's it. Actually, we have a question here by Pitbull Titan. If you lose the boss title the next season, do you also lose the nodes given to you when you become the boss? No, you get to keep them forever. In fact, some, not all, but some nodes you can't really get rid of them, as far as I know. So yeah, no, we're not going to take your nodes back. That would be bad. Remember back when we started this thing, way back in December, we said we were going to reward your loyalty. We mean that. So if you stick around, it's going to be worth it. Alrighty. Okay, next up, how do you get a tier 2 whitelist spot? Are you ready for this? By the way, if you're tier 2 already and you win this, we're going to upgrade you to tier 1. Okay? So I'm going to make it worth your while. We're going to do a Twitter raid from now until Monday. It's not going to be specific to anything. All you have to do is go on Twitter and make a really intelligent, good, clear tweet or thread about why you think NostraCity is going to be super, super cool. And what you're going to do is two things. You're going to tag us and you're going to tag one influencer. That's it. These are the rules. I'm going to repeat them. Make a tweet about how you think NostraCity and why you think NostraCity is going to be super cool. Tag one influencer that you really look up to, somebody you respect, and tag us. The best content is going to get a whitelist spot. Tier 2, if you don't have it. Tier 1, if you already have tier 2. We're going to choose it at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. on Monday. So you have from now until Monday to think of something really cool to say and pick an influencer. Make sure you tag them all. Okay. What if I'm tier 1 and I win the Twitter raid? Then you get a free tier 2 spot that you can gift to somebody who lives with you, so you can all get really, really cheap NFTs. That's the correct answer. Okay. Okay, this Friday we're having a quiz about this AMA. It's worth a whitelist spot as well. The rules are on Discord, so run to our Discord, and this is the last chance that you have to participate in a quiz that is worth this one whitelist spot here. So we will have a sneak peek tomorrow. I'm going to talk about numbers. I'm going to talk about tokenomics. I'm going to show you some of the graphics that we're going to use in NostraCity. NostraCity is not about the graphics, right? This is we're giving lots of thought to the user experience, how we're going to make it so that there's always demand for the token, and that's not the focus, but it's also cool to see some of the graphics as well. So we're going to show some of that, and we're going to talk about the tokenomics. We're going to talk about the numbers and what we're proposing, how much of the money goes into what bucket, and also how are we trying to make it so that there will always be more and more demand for the boss token that you're going to get as or after you purchase your NFTs inside each business. All right. If there are no more questions, I think this is it. I will see you next Wednesday at 8 p.m. UTC right here on Twitter and on YouTube. Thank you very much. Take care. God bless. See ya.